Yeah, man. Back at it again at 2 a.m. Oh my gosh, man. I don't know what it is, bro. Like, I don't know. Honestly, I think the schedule's about to change, bro. Just because, like, bro, bro, how should I say this? So, First off, all right, before we get into it, because I usually just be talking, before we get into it, but, I'm gonna switch things up, bro. Welcome back to the Why I'm Geeked show, man. This is episode 22, I believe, episode 22, man, and, we back, man. We're freaking back. It's crazy, to see, like, the numbers and thus the weeks keep going, bruh. Like, we're almost at like half a year of episodes, which is already crazy, and that lends a lot to just like the thought of this being like a really just a long play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the podcast is important, obviously, you know what I'm saying, but there's not like a lot of episodes, but like time be flying, you know what I'm saying, like every week. And the title of the pod today, man, is podcasting ain't easy, bro. Podcasting is not easy. And I know that's like, a blanket statement, but or it might just like not seem like it's very difficult, but it is, honestly, bro. It is. And I won't go into like, a super like sob story of like, oh, feel bad for me because I'm doing a podcast, and it's a dull little thing, but it's because it's something that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand like the power of podcasting and of long form content. I listen to podcasts all the time, and I'm starting to understand a lot more of like what makes it good. I think that this podcast is good because it's like very transparent. You get to get a better understanding of like life as a creator, and like what it's like before the come up or the blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that is an important not just like an important thing, but just like I guess like I don't even know. The word that's coming to mind is like honest, but that's not really the word. It's just like, you don't get to see that often. You know what I'm saying? But like with this, this is documented. With the podcast, it's documented every single week up until, um, well, forever, honestly. It's not no up until point. As long as the podcast continues to go. Every week there's news. Every week there's like stories and things like that. So like you get to really not only just know a person depending on like the type of podcast it is, but especially like with this type of podcast where it's like, I'm really giving y'all my perspective on not only just shows, but just like, how I feel on things, like, and what this podcast was supposed to be about, was not only just sharing my experience, but other people's too, and having a place and a platform, people to, explain what they're doing, and not only just why they're doing it, but why they're excited about it, what's so important about it, like that's where this pod came from, and it'll definitely get there, but there's a lot that goes into it that I just wasn't really like expecting. Just like starting off, like, one thing that I talked about last week was like just categories. Podcasting is like such a new space, but it's also like a very old space at the same time because um, yes, podcasting is new, but like the actual action of creating a podcast is not. It's essentially the same thing as radio. It's essentially the same thing as talk shows and stuff like that. It's just another form of it. And um, a lot of the same rules still do apply, other than like just the, um, I guess like the, what's the word? The gateway, or like people that will stop you from being able to put out content. Like there's nobody that can stop you from putting out content, for the most part. Like anybody, like you can do it, at any point in time. You can literally um record it from your phone and then upload it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like where we're at. So like accessibility, is what makes this um space different now, than it has ever been. And I guess the gate to entry, I guess that's the term, you know. But like I was saying, like first you got like your category. So like what category are you gonna box yourself in when like what you can be mainly doing, it be like a very broad thing, but or like what you actually get into, you know, in the podcast, it could be a very like broad thing. You could be talking about, you know, um, a world issue at one point, or something that's going on in the media at one point, and then next thing you know, like you get into what you ate for breakfast last week, like, or something new that you worked out, like, like there's endless possibilities of things that you could talk about on a podcast, and it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, but it's also like very difficult to navigate if you just don't, like, if you're just starting. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I literally changed the um, category last week just because I figured like my overall content is, you know, um, like everything that I do, like if I was to encompass it, it would have to do with film and TV. Even though this is not like a TV show per se, but like we talk about anime, we talk about movies, we talk about TV shows. Um, Gaming is a part of what we do also, but it's not like the bulk of our content, But it's an equal part, but um, I think that, if this was like a gaming podcast, it would be more so like esports focused, or like a specific community, like a gaming community focused, like for a specific game. And I just think like just from experience, honestly, and what I've been researching, I think that TV and film is the best place for us to be and to be able to grow. Um, but then you also gotta look at it from like a branding side, like the look of it. You know what I'm saying? Like how does this look up against all the top podcasts? That's really honestly how I really judge it, and um, that's what has really brought about the changes. Like the changes haven't really been implemented yet from a branding side, but I've started the process, and y'all will know when it's fully done. But you know, just the look of it, and then sound is very important too. Um, but really, like you can get away, what I'm saying, with sound at least in the beginning. Like I know for myself personally that the sound quality and stuff will get better with time, and the more equipment that I'm able to get and things like that. Like I already have all that stuff planned out, you know, but we're already starting at it like a good spot. You know what I'm saying? Because this is early. Like I could see if we was like already like an established, like how they got these celebrity podcasts, you gotta already come in with like the crispiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're not gonna be afforded that time to actually grow into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're expecting immediate results because of the profile that you're coming into the space with. So like for people like that, it's different. But for um, those of us who are just starting, and like this is like one of the first things that we're doing, that we're not like super popping anywhere else either. Um, you gotta have the look, and I'm working on that. Constantly, what I'm saying. I thought I would have it done by the time I'm recording this, but it just like ain't nothing spoke to me yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at a lot of my favorite podcasts and what they're doing, and the moves that they're making, and you know I don't copy it, but I definitely like you know find the trends, and find the commonalities between all of them, and try to just like apply it. You know what I'm saying? Like, apply it with, because that's proof, bro. Like, their success is proof. So um, I think that that it's like I need to be able to look at like my pod and just be like, yeah, yeah, like this is it. Like, I can put this up against anybody, and um, that's how I look at like a lot of things, like whether it's music, like I was telling one of my friends the other day that I was listening to one of his songs, like it came up in my playlist, and my playlist got everybody on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody, but like the people that I listen to that like are uber famous and got a great following and just make incredible music. And then his song popped up, and I was like, bro, this like it flowed right with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, bro, like, and I had to tell him too. I was like yo, like you on the right track. You know what I'm saying? Because like, if you can stack up with some of the best out there, like, and not skip a beat, and it's not like they got a feature or anything, but I'm just saying, like, far as quality and sound and like the look of it, like, you're gonna be alright. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna be alright as long as you keep going. So like that's where I'm trying to get to, from like just like a branding side, because I know like the content itself is good. Like, what I'm saying, like I feel like um I definitely provide like a lot of value, just because of not only just like the transparency, but I just have been doing this for a long time, like as far as like being a content creator, and I see things different. I haven't necessarily had that uh, blow up yet, from like an overall standpoint, but I have videos that done really well, like, and I was before I did the whole switch, because I saw the cap that I was at from just a content side, as far as like boxing myself in. um, I decided to make a change, and this podcast was one of the things that came from it. um, so like I did that, but what I was doing, like, I saw what that was going to get me, and I didn't necessarily like feel like I could just limit myself to that. So that's one of the other reasons why I'm doing this. But you know, yeah, it's just like there's that. I know I just went on a huge rant right there, but there's also topics and segments. That's one thing that I think that I could definitely use some help on, just from a structure standpoint of a podcast, because um, I list out the things I don't want to talk about, but they're not like subcategoried or whatever. Like, it's not um like a specific segment or thing that I do constantly that people could be looking forward to. um and it's just like something that I noticed that the other uh podcasts that I listen to on a regular have, and that's like a proven thing to work. You know what I'm saying? So I just been trying to figure that out, figure out different segments. Like I talked about it before, and that's hard, bro. That's hard because you want to be different, but you also want to have something that people can like I said, look forward to, and something that people are actually looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, and then you also have like just like showing up. You know what I'm saying? Every week, like the reason why sometimes like days like today, and one of the reasons why I want to um change the schedule of like when this drops is because you know I want how should I say this? So like I feel like there's it's not like a pressure thing. Like just because I do this live, like there's a certain like aspect to it that is different from people that don't, necessarily do live. Like especially like just the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very chill, it's very laid back. And it's just like something that you could, you know, listen to whenever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we like just it's if the mood fits, it's the actual podcast. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's different. It's different. And I think that, showing up is important because you're showing consistency for one. But I think that for me, I put um, like way too much pressure on myself to put this out every week. Not like because that's a super difficult thing, but just um, like as far as like my workflow, like if I don't do it at a specific time, like between Saturday and Sunday, and that's like a very like wide range, but it's also like something that's like it's not that I have to be in the mood to do it, but um, it's like I don't want it to be that, I don't want it to be something that like I'm forcing. Um, I want it to be like the right thing. So like I don't necessarily want to record at a different point in time. Like I like being able to record on Saturday and Sunday, but I just think that um like I want to be able because I record throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? Like my regular videos, but um I think that just like putting it out, you know, I want to step back and reevaluate like what that looks like, you know. So like some of the changes, like I was saying before, might happen to be on the next episode, like already, like you know what I'm saying, I might have already come up with it, but you know, like to record and put it out the next day, and then have a scheduled day on Wednesdays that I put the video version out. Like I'm about to just start putting them all out at the same time, honestly. Just because, you know, a lot of times like I'll miss a Monday stream because I had to edit the pod first, and the pod editing is not the most difficult part. It's more so like um, the behind the scenes stuff that takes the most time, like figuring out the thumbnail and figuring out the title and the description and all that. Like that takes like the most time. So combining that with also having the video ready for Monday, usually like my Monday videos are a lot later, and I don't want that to be the case. I want to start the week off right. Um so I'm saying this now, but I'm thinking that I'm gonna start releasing the pod on Wednesdays, fully, like both audio version and video version, because I want to feel like the full reaction from it. I guess that would be Like I don't want there to be a delay. Like I like being able to see, you know, the differences between like the audio listenership and like the YouTube viewership, because those are two different communities. But um, I just think for like just the workflow standpoint, I think it'll be better to drop it the same day, so I won't have to necessarily like worry about it and then like wishing like I wish I like based on like how the rest of my week is going, how everything else is going, wish I could have changed the thumbnail, but now it's like, it'd be different. I don't know. I just think that's where I'm leaning to, and then there's also the post game / post show fatigue that definitely happens for me on a regular, just because I don't know what it is. Like once I finish a show or a game, like the last instance being finishing Ratchet and Clank last week, like it's hard for me to get right back into it, So it's like it's a getting back into the groove process that takes at least like a week, So last week was definitely like an off week for me, from not only just a content standpoint, but just like from a like vibe, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. But let's see what else I got. So like I said, changes are definitely on the way. All right, so let's get into uh scaling and stuff like that. What's up to everybody that's coming through on the pod, man. But from the live side, but so my scale, bro. So I be doing, y'all know I be doing the the G files. I do the G file score for movies and games and stuff, and I really realized, bro, like my scale is off. You know what I'm saying? My scale is really off. And not because it's like I think that like my scale is worse than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I just like judge things differently, and I realized that, and I think that's a good thing, but I be realizing sometimes like it be looking off. So like one of the topics for the filler episodes, or I don't even know what to call it, but because I'm still coming up with names for it, but is for Fast and Furious, bro, was I gave it like an 86, right? And when I look at like Rotten Tomato and all the stuff, like the ratings for it, that joint was terrible. And I'm like, yo, what are they judging it on? You know what I'm saying? Because I enjoyed the movie. I definitely enjoyed the movie. And I don't know, bro. Like, I guess, like, because I explain, like my thoughts on the movie, and it'd be the same. It's not the same because I obviously have a different opinion. But, like, I be noticing, like, I be saying some of the same stuff that a lot of the bigger, like, movie critics or whatever be saying, But, like, I really be basing my, I guess, my ratings off of the enjoyment factor of the movie, like how I was actually feeling while I was watching it, and then also, the things that I talk about, so like the pacing and the plot and stuff, and that's how I be coming up with my joints. But I guess that's not enough. Like I guess, I need to. I mean, I'm not gonna start conforming to being like everybody else, but I think that as time goes on, like this is one thing I was thinking about over the week. Like as time goes on, I think my scores will start to, or my ratings will start to, I guess taper off or start to fill out as I start, having more things to base it off of, because I never really give ratings. I more so just be like, should you go see it or should you not go see it, that type of thing. But you know, I want to get into that lane, so it's more so like it's more so hmm it's more so like, yo, like it'll get better with time. And I realize like because I don't rate everything like super good, you know what I'm saying, but I also don't rate stuff super bad a lot of times either. I think like my lowest rating, let me see what it was. um I think my lowest rating is like a 74, you know. And I gotta be comfortable with like going to the 60s with stuff if stuff is really bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's where I need to be able to get to. But that's also like I don't want to watch anything that's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want like I'm not out here just watching everything. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't think it's gonna be good, I'll probably won't watch it. Honestly, like and going to see um, F9 or the Fast Saga, like my expectations weren't really that high because I know what Fast and Furious is. You know what I'm saying? Like I know, like I understand, like what kind of movie or film that I'm going to watch, and I don't let that take away from my actual score. Not to say that's what everybody else does when they like scoring joints, but that's just how I be with it, you know. And I think to date, so I'm looking at it now. To date, I think the lowest I've ever rated something is an 80, which is kind of crazy. Um, there are things that are still in the works, like so. I still have to finish Biomutant, um, and that's going to be like a 70 something probably, um, just based on where I was at. I still haven't finished it yet, but that's one thing I'm looking to do this week, so I can get that review out. But yeah, like I just realized like my scale just might be a little off, you know. But I think with experience and more movies under my belt and TV shows and stuff like that, I think that you know it'll balance out, and my critiques will get better and stuff like that. And I'm honestly realized like I'm gonna be a writer, bro. Like, and I've always like um, shied away from it just because like I'm not the best writer. I've never been. Um, even in school, but I did get a lot better like through my thesis and stuff like that from architecture school. Um, but it's more so like just like the punctuations and stuff like that. So like I won't necessarily like have a blog or anything, but like the scores that I do post and do full breakdowns for, you know, will be honest and will be like written out like paragraphs probably. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be dope. But I just realized that, you know. Let me know what you guys think. Like, do my scales be off? Do I be rating stuff way too high? You know what I'm saying? I'll take that into consideration. But the last two things that I got, I said two, and I put up three fingers. The last the last two things that I got on here is the Wizard King versus everybody. So I've been watching Black Clover, right? And you know, Black Clover is becoming like one of my favorite animes. Um, Not of all time, but just like that I watched recently. And you know, I just feel like they did the Wizard King so dirty. I think that you know, and this is old news. Honestly, this is old news. So if this is spoilers for you, I'm sorry. But y'all know how I do, and I'm finally getting into like the elf war. I don't know what you would call it, but you know the elves are coming back, basically. And Licht and the Wizard King had their battle, bro. And this show is all about freaking surpassing your limits, you know. And I knew it was gonna happen, bro, based on like his freaking like monologue episode, of just like, you know, going in the past and us finding out like the type of man and the type of king that he wanted to be and was. I was like, oh yeah, this man definitely got murked. Like, he's gonna get murked. But for him to like surpass the limit, save everybody in the kingdom, but not be able to, you know, defend himself, I was like, bruh. I was like, I knew it. I freaking knew it. And you know, youngins got there just in time, like, to see him being stabbed. And I was like, bruh. I was like, yo, he can't go out like this, bro. He cannot. He cannot. And I was upset. And I was just like, bruh, after all that, like, he had the coolest freaking grimoire. Like, being able to, like, his magic was, you know, be able to bend time and stuff like that, and be able to steal time. And, you know, the way that, quote unquote, licked, because I found out it's not even licked for real. It was just like his little bro, I guess, portray or whatever. If you haven't seen Black Clover, you wouldn't really know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, like, he took advantage of that, you know, knowing that he would save everybody just to stab him. I was like, dang, that's a sad way to go out, you know. And he went out, and the fact that he went out like that, and everybody else survived and is in comas, I'm like, bro, why couldn't he just be in a coma? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a chance for him to come back. Like, I think that was messed up, bro. I think that was messed up. But the last thing that I got on my list for the day, for the filler part of the filler episode, was I finally got my Minecraft to be on controller for PC, bro. Finally mapped it out. It's not something that's super complicated, but it was something that I just didn't look into doing. And, you know, based on me freaking working on the computer so much, you know, and just being like freaking messed up from that, you know, I was just like, bro, no more keyboarding. No more, bro. I'm sticking to controller, because the less stress that I could put on myself from that, you know what I'm saying, like, the better. So I got that joint mapped out. It works. I just got to get used to it again. And I'm excited because I haven't played freaking Minecraft in so long. And the new update is out. And, you know, it's time to get back to freaking mining. So definitely be expecting some Minecraft streams to come out soon. I can't wait for you guys to see my world. I'm on a resource grind right now, so it's a little different. But yeah, it's a lot more difficult than I remember it being on PlayStation. But, you know, I'll get to the point that it's uber easy. You know what I'm saying? I'll be moving around and stuff like that, and it's gonna be dope. But other than that, that's pretty much all I got for this week's episode, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in once again. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rate the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think about, you know, just all the stuff that I talked about today. Because, you know, I just like being transparent with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, this joint ain't easy, bro. It's not. And, yeah. Depending on when you guys see this, we might have some new, a new look to it. You know what I'm saying? From just a, you know, podcasting side or branding side and stuff like that, logo and all that. It'll still have the, you know, template or basis for what we already been doing, but it's definitely gonna be a little different. But other than that, man, that's all I got. Appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy another week. You be watching anything, listen to anything, bro. I decided to check this out, so I appreciate y'all. Without further ado, I'm gonna catch y'all later. You know the vibes. Always keep growing. See you guys being G. I'm gone. Peace.